Hello and welcome back to another video on Gnarly Carl YouTube channel. Thanks for joining along. Another time, another day, another experience. So this is going to be quite a bit different one than my usual videos, and thought we'd have a little discussion on the comments, especially the ones that I have not been able to respond to, just because there's been so many. And I got to moderate what time I spend with my life and what I spend on my YouTube. So bear with me here. We're gonna go over a bunch of comments. It should be interesting. There's a few cool, different little snippets, some input, some experience from others of you out there. I've said it before. Anything that I show and what I know has basically been passed along to me by someone else, so I'm just passing along to everybody else. Some of the things that I come up on my own, basically stem from what I've already learned, which came from other people. So it's nothing's new, nothing's old. It's just utilizing different methods and tools that we have available to us in different means, such as this trenchless tool, the pipe slice by Wheeler Rex. It's basically an inclined plane being pulled through an existing line that splits it open or pulls it out or whatever the case might be, depending on the situation. So we're gonna go over comments. We're gonna have a little chit chat here, going over comments, and you can certainly feel free to ask. I'm gonna try to get to all your questions. You can feel free to ask any questions about any videos that we did before, and we'll try to go over some of them. First of all, we'll start with F. Huber. He got my attention by saying, "It could be worse. I was working for a lawn sprinkler company with a team of 3 others installing sprinklers. Team leader, running a machine to drag in pipe, decided to ignore a marked gas main. It will be deeper than the machine goes," was his response when I pointed out the paint and flags. He cut a 6-inch gas main, causing a large area excavation. Ouch. Can you imagine the fine that you had to pay on that? I imagine there was a fine. There always is for around here if we hit something that they have marked. So that would not have been a good day. I have hit a service line going to the house, which is much lower pressure, and we were able to shut the valve off at the street. So it worked out. Yeah, I'm trying a new voiceover. Steven Struher. Sorry about butchering your last name. Thank you for the feedback on that. I got an okay microphone setup. Nothing super fancy or special because an amateur video and editing. It's just enough to get the message out there and show the story, tell the story, show the experience, pass along to you guys. Let's see. Plum build. Nice job. That's really interesting watching that cable pull. Never tried anything like that. I have got lucky on pulling galvanized a short distance through sand with PEX hooked up to the end. It worked, but I was surprised. Nice video, and thanks again for taking the time to record. Hope you stay busy and pick up lots of new customers. Hope you have a good weekend. Thank you very much. I too have pulled an old galvanized line out through a short distance, such as underneath the sidewalk, and with our soil, it basically leaves a tunnel, and I can actually just push the PEX through. So yeah. It worked out very well, very, very well. So I'm going to try to stick to the comments that I haven't responded to yet. So I'll keep that filter there. Everything else, hopefully the ones I've responded to make sense. So let's see. Plum build again. Sweet portable coffee maker. I have to fill my thermos every morning. Too bad they don't make it anymore. That's what I say too. I liked it a whole lot. I still use it. And I actually got a couple more when they were on sale, and I heard they were going out of business or wasn't making them anymore. One of the two. Whispers around me tell me that there's a possibility they might be rebranding or remarketing or selling it to another company that might be making something like it. I don't know. In my opinion, it was priced too high to really justify, for trades guys to really justify getting one of these. I think they were, I forget, a little over $200 each retail. I forget. It's been a while. Let's see. So, a lot of these I've been trying to upload to see what the shorts is all about. So YouTube started doing these shorts. See this hashtag here? They want you to put this hashtag here to kind of group it in. They're trying to get with the other guys, such as Instagram and TikTok, I believe, which is the short 1-minute videos or what have you. So I'm gonna keep going through these videos. These are more recent. I'm gonna try to get to some older ones eventually. Thank you very much for the welcome back comments. I really, really appreciate it. It's just like I said before, a couple years ago when I really started getting into this, I basically had no life, so I had to really cut back on the time that I spent making YouTube videos, and it's been a whole lot better for me. So I'm trying to get back and making a few more. HH Progressive Construction. It's the simple tools that make life easier. Absolutely. So this is about the Rigid and Pasco wrenches. You can click this video. I got links in the description where you can actually find out what wrenches those are. Really sweet. Yeah, a lot of things going on since since I regularly uploaded videos. And there was, oh, here, Steve Russell. I was looking at this comment before, and I wanted to get to this. What brand of pants are those? True Work. True, W-E-R-K. And I put a video up specifically about the True Work pants. Here we go. Here's the video right here. And yeah, constant focus. Okay, so about this video, yeah, I absolutely agree. Rick Tomlinson, okay stuff. And the one thing annoying about this video is the constant focus adjustment going in and out. We're using a cell phone or camera. Would be nice to just turn the autofocus off. Absolutely agree, and I apologize for having such a terrible lighting situation. I had the spot and time to do this video real quick, so I set it up, shot it, basically what I needed to do to get the message out there, because I really like these True Work pants. The shirts don't fit so nice, basically because I'm a taller dude. I got longer arms and a taller torso, so they don't tuck in very well, and the sleeve length, they're a little bit short. But yeah, so to answer your question, it was a camera and not a cell phone. I think my cell phone honestly would have taken a better picture in this lower light condition, simply because my camera is a little bit older. Not really older, it's still a good one. Someone actually brought up the point of Ariat shirts, where they have a little bit longer sleeve length and all that. Ariat, I thought only made shoes, but what do I know? Alright, so I found the comment that I was looking for. Lauren Ricky, great to see you posting again. Thank you. Your old videos were very entertaining and professional. I feel like they were more entertaining than professional, so I was trying to focus on the more professional side of things. Anyways, I liked all the Milwaukee tools you introduced and shared with us viewers. I used to wear Carhartt double knee, then tried Caterpillar, and now I'm sold on Nobel pants. I purchased mine from Big R, but you can order them from their website. Sizing is large, so order one size down. As far as shirts, go to Ariat's website and order their t-shirts and pullovers. They're very well made with thick material and longer sleeves with extra torso length to prevent butt crack exposure. Lastly, pick up a Milwaukee beanie. Have a great Thanksgiving, and remember, we care about you. Thank you so much. Appreciate your input, because I'm definitely going to try out the Ariat website and see what their t-shirts look like and pullovers. It's funny because about the Big R stores, I feel like they're an Illinois, Indiana thing. They started moving out here to Ohio, and there was a Big R 30 minutes to the north of me and 30 minutes to the south of me, one in Findlay, one in Lima, Ohio. And then they were there for a couple years, and then Stock and Field bought them, took over, renamed them. I don't know what happened, and then most recently they're going out of business too. So it's kind of interesting to see, but they weren't really much, talk of a town sort of thing. Everybody just went to Menards, Lowe's, or they went online, or I don't know. I know Big R did have Milwaukee, but unfortunately their prices were a little bit too steep, and when you could go on to Home Depot website and get some deals from there. But anyways, that was interesting thing that you brought up. We don't have Big R around here anymore, so we got Rural King. I think they're similar, but they probably have some differences. So that was the comment I was looking for. So help yourself to the information that this commenter provided us here. And yeah, Nobel pants. It's interesting. These are True Work. I have Snickers. Honestly, Snickers, you're talking about the double knee and the Carhartt. Snickers has pockets at the knees to put inserts into, and I love those. Absolute favorite way to wear knee pads is by putting them in the pockets that you can get in some pants. And Snickers is by far and above one of the best brands out there to do so. Unfortunately, you can't really get them around here in the States unless there's a retail store, which is far and few between. Otherwise, you have to go online to Snickers. I think it's snickersdirect.com. Anyways, continuing on, let's see. Anyways, some more comments about the True Work pants. James Cunningham, thanks for the good info and review. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Duluth Trading Company Fire Hose pants. My biggest issue with pretty much any brand other than Wranglers is finding pants that are long enough. It's good to see you again on video, and I hope that business is thriving for you. Thank you so much. Yes, business is something else. Right now here, it's actually February. It's kind of slow a little bit this time of year. Not too bad. I've been able to put some focus on some other things that I've been cooking up and doing. Duluth Trading Company fire hose pants. Everybody that I've talked to that has them, they say they're great. They really really like them. I don't have any problems with finding pants that are long enough, but sometimes it seems like the length is kind of up in the air. It's kind of arbitrary how they seem to size pants from brand to brand. It's really frustrating sometimes. All right, we're going to move on to another video that I really like doing. So this is the Milwaukee Switch Tank, battery-powered backpack sprayer. I grew up on a farm, and from little up, we used to carry backpack knapsack sprayers. Dad would always call them around to apply herbicide. And when we were really little, we'd only carry about 2 gallons on our back because that's the only amount that we could. That's the only amount of weight that we could carry when we were that little. My brother and I. As we got older, we'd add another gallon, and as we got old enough, Dad would put in 4 gallons. Or we at that point we'd be able to do it ourselves. Jeff Ewing? What about the weight? Do you have to be Superman? Well, to be honest, I guess I've been conditioned to carry this weight around with me, growing up on a farm. But yeah, if you're a petite person and you can't carry too much weight because you're just maybe not quite strong enough. Yeah, it takes a toll. For reference, I'm 6'2", about 205 pounds, and it's no problem for me. Moving on, Eliad Buknik. I think that for the next version of this thread, they should think about automatic oiler. That would improve the ease and use of the tool. See, the oiling has always been an issue for me. Not for this tool, okay? So I really, really, really like this tool. It's the battery-powered M18 Milwaukee threader, which uses the rigid dies. There is some oil that you can get in a spray can made by, what's that R word? I'm trying to think. It's REMS. I couldn't think of it. REMS. I think it's a European, maybe even a German brand. Apparently they have a really slick oil that you can get in an aerosol can, but I can't seem to get it around here. I've tried to order it. I don't really know where to get it. So I've been using this. If you've ever been to a mechanic shop, the guys in the back use these pressurized little handheld canisters. You fill it up with some oil, put the cap in, pressurize it up with the shop air, and then it sprays it out in a nice little stream or a spray depending on what you got in it. So I've been using that. I guess an automatic oiler would be kind of cool. But I guess my point is that if I can get my hands on that aerosolized REMS oil, they say you don't even need a whole lot of it. So I need to look into that still. We're going to keep moving on, get some more comments down here. This was an interesting build. I used the mothership battery charger. It's got the 3 bays for the M12. It's got the 3 bays for the M18. It charges 3 batteries at once on the rapid charger. So it's basically 3 rapid chargers in one. It's got a carry handle. And I put the pack out base on it so I could stack it on the rest of my toolboxes, and it worked out really well. I got it sitting in my van, and it doesn't move around, and I can keep it on top of my toolboxes as I bring in the battery charger. It's got a handle, and then I can put a toolbox or organize it underneath it and carry it all in. It's pretty slick. Steve James, I don't see a need for a rivet gun, but it's a tool and it's Milwaukee, so I have to have one. To be honest, I got the rivet gun thinking I would use it a lot more, but I haven't. It does come in super handy for putting stuff in my truck where I worry that a nut and bolt or a screw might work its way loose. Super, super handy, that M12 Milwaukee rivet gun. They actually have a new one come out that goes up to, I don't know, 1/4 inch pop rivets, I believe, and that's pretty new tool. Got a couple random different videos here. This one here, the trenchless waterline replacement plus tips and tricks, that's a video that we did more recently than the one I uploaded the other day. So this actually pulled 140 feet through old polyline that was, I think, 160 psi rated. We pulled in 250 psi rated. I grew up at my parents' house where we had kind of a water pipe like that, like the old school poly. And when we switched from a jet pump to a submersible, it increased the water pressure and flow and started blowing holes in the old poly line, and we eventually had to replace the whole thing. So I believe that's what the old pipe in this video was, where it wasn't able to, withstand as much, or just wore out. I don't know. Whatever technology or chemistry they used back to make that type of pipe was replaced by this newer stuff, and this will last them their lifetime. George Wallers, you should do a tour of your work truck. I'd love to. There's a lot of things I still like to organize, and there's just so much going on. It's a mess from time to time between jobs. You know how that is. Let's see. srcastk. Have you ever gone to the AWWA convention? I'd like to see your video of that if you ever go. I believe that's the Waterworks Association or something like that in California, I believe. You can check it out yourself and correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see, cordless tools from New Product Symposium 2019. He also says, by using pressed copper to meter, you're missing the point. Cities have by instructing in code a copper inlet service pipe to meter. Cities should have put in their code a solid copper pipe minus sweated inlet valve service pipe to meter. I'm retired now, so I don't remember how my city worded our specs. But if I saw pressed fittings used for a service pipe, I would have flagged you. Okay, in my most recent video that I uploaded about the trenchless pool, I think I mentioned in there that some people have mentioned that their city does not allow them to do ProPress on the service line, which I don't know why that would be, for whatever reason that might be. But they don't care here, so we ProPress copper fittings to service pipe coming in the house. So I'm gonna keep going, get some more comments. Let's see. This is an interesting one. Rick Tomlinson. There's a guy here in my town that does trenchless waterline installs using GPS technology. Wow. I got estimates from several plumbers that had to be bid based on digging 120 feet to lay the pipe. Labor cost was a wow, $sign. So I talked to this trenchless guy, and his fee to run a new waterline was 1/5 the estimate of the others. So he gets to do the job. Pulls up with his truck, digs about 1 foot around the hole, takes GPS measurements, sticks the bit device in the hole by the city water meter, gives it a start. Pulling the new water line, it goes under the garage, under the garden, and under the yard, under the concrete patio, and pops out right through a hole in the basement wall. Square on. I was slack-jawed. All connections made in the entire job, only a few hours. Amazing the speed and accuracy, clean and quick. So I wonder if this was sticks the bit device in the hole. I wonder if it's like a mole, like a pneumatic air-powered mole that pounds its way through the dirt. I thought about doing that. That's that's a little bit of a pricey setup to start, and I don't do a whole lot of these jobs. It would be cool to have, cool to do. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll be able to do that. Let's see. We'll keep moving on. That threader sucks. Nothing against you, brother, in your video. Okay, well, thanks for the information. I would like to know why exactly you bring this up. Anybody else that has an opinion like this, that's cool, but I would like to know more about it instead of just this, because I know nothing more. You might just be saying this because you have some Milwaukee tools that did you, that messed up on you. You're just saying this because I'm using, like Milwaukee. I don't know. I would like to just know why you say that. It works out amazing for me. Up to 2 inch. I'm not doing a whole lot of 2 inch, so I'm mainly between 1 inch, 1.5 inches at the most. But I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. And that was Evo Mike 2122. Robert Sailors says Milwaukee versus Ego string trimmer. Any options welcome. Anybody that has a Milwaukee, anybody that has the Ego, can you do a comparison or input on here? I don't know Ego. Can't help you. Sorry. Moving on, we're going to see what else we got. Great video. Thank you. Brought back some painful memories, though. Back in 1970, I worked for a pipe, valve, and fitting company in Denver, Colorado. We had the Armstrong pipe threaders back then. One weekend, another work, and I hand threaded 2,000 feet of 3/4 inch pressure pipe, 100 by hand. I hurt in places I never had hurt before that weekend. Wish we would have an electric one back then. Wow. David Bates says, yeah, those are some times that makes you wonder, how well their joints held up, which it sounds like they would fail prematurely, unfortunately. So that's cool. Yeah, there's always stuff that you run across you never knew was possible. David Sequist, this is an interesting looking tri-stand for the gas threading. I haven't seen one before. Toledo Tool. Yes, so this is a Toledo Tool brand tri-stand. The rigid tri-stand, yeah, I've used those for years at other companies that I worked for. It is heavy and bulky. Now, if I was doing more and it was a stationary job, I was there for, most of the day, a couple days, and I didn't have a problem with fitting in my truck, yeah, I'd use a rigid tri-stand all day, every day, because it's heavy duty and it holds up better than this does. It has a better chain. It just has more room to put stuff on, and yeah, it's a Toledo Tool. There you go. But that means it'd be a D. So there you go. All right. So Grumpy's Garage says, great video. would like to see a video on how you measure out the piping in order to cut and thread it. Okay, so that in itself is kind of an art, and I learned to do a lot of that at a industrial and commercial plumbing company that I worked for about 6-7 months, where I really started to appreciate threading pipe. I've used MegaPress. I've put in thousands of feet of pipe with MegaPress, which is basically ProPress for gas black iron pipe. And I got a new appreciation for threading iron pipe when I worked for this industrial and commercial plumbing company between, let's see, December of 2018 to June of 2019. And then after that, I started my own company. So I really, really like threading iron pipe. It's satisfying, and I figured a way, or they taught me a way to measure it and double check it and get that figured out. Basically, like just real quick, if you are able to set up 2 fittings where they need to go in place, and you measure the pipe, and you measure the distance between the 2 fittings, add an inch. If you got your dies set up and you have it figured out how far you need to thread back on the pipe, figure about an extra inch, because each fitting will take up 1/2 inch of each pipe's end, as a general rule of thumb. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try to maybe get back on some older videos that I, kind of was slack on replying to the comments. So let's see what we got. Here's an interesting comment from a video that I put up a couple years ago. Replace a leaking valve behind your toilet. So Lennox Jones: 1. Leave copper lung for next service plumber. 2. Never tighten the scrap out of the compression. I think that's the word he was looking for. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so 1, copper long enough for service plumber. There's been many occasions where it was not left long enough for me. I'll tell you what, I don't think this is exactly necessary because of the tools we have available to us. I got a slick little ferrule puller that grips on the inside of the compression nut, pushes on the pipe, the copper pipe, and it's made by English Tool Company. You might want to check them out online. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I guess I would argue that I don't have a problem with not leaving it very long. And then for tightening the compression nut, I would argue that I did just exactly tight as I needed to. The compression stop that I use in this video is a Wolverine brass, extra heavy duty. It is like extreme extra heavy duty. It's like a solid piece of brass that you use just about as a hammerhead. If you're worried about it breaking or whatever, no, not these compression stops. Maybe some of the more mainstream compression stops, yeah, you want to be careful about that. Or if you're worried about tightening and the ferrule squeezing down too tight in the copper, no, I think that, what I'm used to, it turned out really well. I don't think that's going to be a problem. So this is another interesting one too, drilling under a deck for waterline. That got a lot of attention. That was pretty cool. I never expected to get so popular, like 250 some thousand views. That was pretty nice. This was actually before I even had a trenchless, legit trenchless setup with the cable and the pulling bullet or wedge. I just kind of threw stuff together from my local Tractor Supply M18 Super Hog. 2 6-foot lengths of 5/8 all thread rod, couple couplings, earth auger, and as you watch this video, you can see how it happened. So it was about 11, 12 feet that I had to bore underneath this deck. Obviously, I wished I would have had the trenchless pipe slice kit from Wheeler Rex at this time, but I did not. So I made do with what I had, and it worked out really well. Drain Pros, really impressed with the drilling idea. Have never seen that before. Good work. I've never seen it before either. I just kind of pieced it together from what I thought would work. Gave it a try. So I'm glad you liked it. Yes, thank you. Thank you, auto generator commenter thing. Oops, I hit the F5 refresh button. Hold, please. Here's an interesting discussion about ProPress after Peter Bashar, sorry about butchering your last name, saw me ProPressing fitting on the end of the K-copper water line coming into the house. It's perfectly fine here. Nobody really cares that we do that. For some reason, I think I mentioned it before in one of my more recent videos, that some have mentioned that their cities don't allow that, which I'm not sure why. He says ProPress owning isn't going to last like a solder joint. I mean, if he has actual proof and experience of that, I'd like to see it, but he doesn't, like, none of us really know what we're talking about. I mean, until it actually happens. He even goes down here to say, I think 15 to 20 years from now, there's going to have leaks everywhere from these findings. And shark bite. Maybe shark bite, but I think ProPress is a lot stronger, and again, he doesn't really know because we haven't been there yet. There's a gentleman in Canada who has mentioned about using ProPress for the last, I think, 20, 25 years. No problems. Maybe one something happened to. But it's an interesting discussion here. But really, we don't know what we're talking about. And it's just, you know, find out when that time comes. I've seen plenty of soldered joints fail when someone didn't quite prep the ends of the copper pipe correctly by not reaming the inside of the pipe. And by not doing so, it leaves that lip created by the spin cutter. And when the water rushes over that lip, it creates some cavitation by swirling and basically not having a smooth transition from pipe to fitting. And anyway, it's an interesting science behind it. Look it up, cavitation in copper pipe, and it will actually cause the soldered joint, the fitting actually to start leaking. So you just got to know what you're doing in correct preparation of any type of fitting. So we never really know until the time comes. Darren's Coils and Clouds. Where do you live that there are no rocks? I live in Connecticut and guarantee you there would be rocks in the way. I'm in Northwest Ohio. Yeah, there's really nothing in the way except, what's buried in the dirt and in some areas, bedrock. Very few areas is there bedrock that we have to deal with. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky here having to do that in an area that doesn't have a lot of, rocks in the way. Let's see. Abdul Rahman, I like the idea of Milwaukee Paco, but it's so dang expensive. 3 boxes for $229. It is stupid. I use rigid brand boxes, love them. I have the rigid ones as well. Nothing wrong with them. I really like them as well. I keep a few on my truck. The Milwaukee Paco, yeah, you get what you pay for, I think. There's a lot more features to the Milwaukee than the rigid. But, what's expensive to you is not so expensive to others and vice versa. You know how that goes, just with everything. Got some interesting comments going down. Got the video on the MX Fuel, and I actually have the MX Fuel 14-inch cutoff saw that I use for concrete. It's pretty slick on the inside. On interior concrete cutting work, like in basements. You don't have the fume. You don't have an electric saw. They have to worry about popping breakers. I'm going to keep going, see what else we got. So here's an interesting input and experience. Robert Mackey. Okay, I've cleaned over 20,000 sewers. I've got 9 different drain machines, including small drain. I have a Spartan 1065 heavy and a Mitana Witch or whatever. I'm skeptical about the mainline machine. Okay, to be honest, I don't like drum machines. I've used the Spartan 2001. I've used the Spartan 300. And I've gotten to the point where I don't even like drum machines. I've used them for a couple years. What I do now is sectionals, and I got a video more recently that I put up, basically outlining my favorite mainline machine, which uses 8-foot electric eel brand sectionals and my Milwaukee M18 whole hog. So I've been using that for the last year and a half, basically since I opened doors. And I no longer like the drum machines, and I don't even care to have a specific a dedicated sectional machine either, which they've come out with on their M18 line. But yeah, those drum machines get pretty stinking heavy. If you go back, I think it's about a week ago or so that I uploaded a video about just a real short video on my electric eel setup. I got like 120 feet of sectionals in 2 tires just to keep them organized. And then the machine itself is just simply the M18 whole hog, which is a slick setup. And they're heavy-duty cables, and they're super slick. So check it out if you want to really think outside the box about what it means to clear a drain without having a machine itself. Many of these tools could be used to break into bank vaults. Reported? No, I'm just kidding. So there was actually a couple years ago, I remember some fake workers came in with a big coring machine and actually did break into a bank vault. They pretended to be workers there and nobody questioned them. Not to give anybody ideas, but yeah, that's kind of crazy. Savino Renteria. We need an AM18 snap cutter. Well, luckily for you, if you're talking about a soil pipe cutter, you can actually get the rigid snap cutter that goes on a ProPress gun. That's you have to have a full-size ProPress gun, but Rigid does make a snap cutter for 2-inch to 4-inch capacity on this attachment that goes in there, or in a Milwaukee, Rigid or Milwaukee full-size ProPress gun. So if you're dealing with anything bigger, unfortunately, it won't work as far as I can tell. But yeah, that'd be cool. You know, maybe we'll pass that along to Milwaukee. Milwaukee is insane. Well, we got to remember, Milwaukee is simply a marketing company selling tools, so they're pretty good at getting the word out, you know, and making pretty decent tools, you know. Oh, this also brings up this comment I think I've seen before. Milwaukee is turning more and more into Apple, or at least their marketing. Where, like I said, they're a marketing company making tools. You want to know the truth? That's the truth. If Milwaukee's going to hear this and they don't like it, that's what it's come down to. They make good tools. Milwaukee makes great tools. I use them every day of the week, and they've made me a lot of money. I have no problem with that. I mean, what can I say? I mean, you don't like Milwaukee, go somewhere else. That's just how it works out. Let's see. Migraine Guy says the power supply would be awesome to have, not just for tools, but for random power outages. I'm still waiting for my cordless framer and router. So this was a year ago, and since then they do have cordless framing guns and cordless router. They also have basically a full line of cordless framing guns and cordless trim guns. So that's cool. It turns out, from what I hear, their most recent iteration is really successful framers and trim guns, not like their first ones, which I guess it's kind of to be expected. You know, they got to work out some bugs. But so yeah, that's cool. I think we'll take one more comment here. Choo Choo Rooter Bean, quick repair on a sewer line and a month to make another video. I guess he is getting the old working for yourself, never have time to do anything. Absolutely right. My phone rings constantly, and I thank the Lord every day for all he does for my little sewer cleaning company, but I would be lying if I said I wouldn't like to have a day of peace and quiet. Yep, that's basically sums up what I'm dealing with since opening my doors. So I appreciate everybody's patience. I think that's about it. You can read through different comments, and I'll try to get back to you in the comments if you have questions basically regarding anything that you've watched so far, any questions, any general plumbing experiences that you've had. I always appreciate hearing everybody's experience. So I think with that ends on a good note, and I appreciate everybody's involvement. Thanks you so much, very, very much. And you know, I'll see if I can't upload another video, and I think the next one is going to be a trenchless video that I actually did last year, my very first trenchless pipe replacement. It'll be an interesting one. Just have to find time to make it, edit it, put it up. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. Appreciate all your involvement again. Have a good day.